us here because of a bribe. A bribe that no one is contesting. Now, the defense would like you to think that an untrained, unauthorized individual, Officer Mickey Keenan, is the reason we're here today. They are grasping at straws. It is a desperate attempt by a desperate opposing counsel and a desperate defendant to mislead and misguide you. It is not an untrained officer. She has received extensive training. She was not unauthorized. Her chief gave her authorization. It is the unethical business practice of Miss Avery Bancroft that brings us here. Now, before the trial, you were given jury instructions, which were to serve as a guide as you come to the decision today. Now, the defense has the burden at the moment. They have to prove that there was no inducement by a preponderance of the evidence. In turn, the state had to show, beyond a reasonable doubt, that there was predisposition on behalf of the defendant. Now, it is important that you remember, even if neither side is able to uphold their burden, you must find Avery Bancroft guilty, as she has already admitted to bribery. So where do we begin? Allow us to delve into the defense's Alice in Wonderland, the case that they provided us today. We heard from none other than frat star Mr. Hyde, an errand boy who is so incompetent, even in his role as Officer Keenan's informant, that he didn't know that his boss had been previously talking to Chase Covington. He didn't know what they'd been talking about. In fact, even during the meetings, he stepped out and missed vital parts of those meetings. And where was Mr. Hyde when the bribe actually took place? He was leaving the casino because he had no idea where his boss was. They tried to argue that Officer Keenan, a dedicated officer who has given 2 years of her life to the people of Midlands to ensure that no corruption is taking place in this state, was in fact doing this on her own volition of some vendetta for some personal glory. Ladies and gentlemen, she is an undercover agent. There is no personal glory in being an undercover agent. She serves and protects. They would have you believe that the words such as sweeten the pot would automatically have anyone lead to a bribe. Now, when I hear sweeten the pot, I think of, I don't know, chili, perhaps. I don't think of paying off my chef for, I don't have a chef, I'm not that rich, but had I a chef, I don't think of paying them off to make me better chili. I don't think of much else when I think of sweeten the pot. I think of better ideas. I think of innovation. And that's what Mr. Hyde was under the impression his boss thought, as he attested when he sat before you today. He said, to my boss's credit, I don't think Avery Bancroft even realized that we were offering bribe. And yet, Avery Bancroft went ahead and gave a bribe anyway. Not because of the actions of Officer Keenan or Corey Hyde, but because Miss Avery Bancroft styled herself one of those Chicago or Jersey boys. She knew how to play the game. In fact, there's a phone conversation I have for you in which you hear Miss Bancroft say, she's done this before. She knows how to do this without Mickey Keenan. She knows how to get her hands dirty, ladies and gentlemen. And she certainly did. And now she is trying to pawn this whole situation off on someone else. It's somewhat reassuring to know that the pop singers of the world, the idols, the rich businesswomen are just like us, eager to pass off their own failings on others, to let someone else be the fall guy. Ladies and gentlemen, they have failed to produce any evidence whatsoever that would show inducement. In fact, they bolstered our own case by showing that there was predisposition. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no question as to what the ruling must be today. You must find that Avery Bancroft was not entrapped and that she is guilty of the crime of bribery.
Thank you.